Hey everyone, Trisha from Robot Pixie. I decided to make a little tutorial showing you how I made this new bowl. And the colors that I used are all from Eye Candy pigments. I love their pigments. And then I'm also using glitter from Glitter Makes It called Honey Bunny. I really wanted to do a springtime bowl. So here I'm using the resin, and I'm just kind of starting out from the outside, just making a small border, and then I'm going to slowly add each color in, working towards the middle. And then this is I did mix less of the yellow than I did the other colors, just because I didn't want the yellow to really stand out. I loved the pink and the turquoise color in the glitter, so that's what I wanted to focus on. So then I'm just adding a bunch of the glitter to the middle, and as I pour and as you watch, you'll see that this will help resin moves toward the middle just by its nature, towards the center. So that's why I started from the outside. I knew that it would slowly creep its way back in, and that was the effect overall that I wanted to get with the bowl. So I am just going back and forth with the colors, working to slowly add and build up. I didn't fill this tray completely with resin, but I did use, probably over 20 ounces total, probably 24 for this tray. This was a huge mold and a huge, just a huge pour. So it took me a couple times of mixing, especially when I get to the clear parts later. But anyway, so here I'm just adding some more of those colors. I decided to do a little bit more color in between the glitter and the yellow. So I'm adding what I had left of the pink and the teal color. And that actually I felt helped really bring it in. And ultimately, my goal here is just using everything that I mixed up, because I knew that the tray was big enough to take it. And I just wanted to make sure that I got as much color in there as possible before I added in the clear. So here I'm just taking a silicone tool and kind of swirling the colors together where they overlap and where they meet. And I'm wiping off the tool with a baby wipe each time that I'm done with it. And you can see me fighting with this corner here. I'll address that later, but I wasn't liking how the resin was sitting right there, and so I kept messing with it. But so then I'm going to swirl again wherever the colors overlap, and I went in the opposite direction where the green meets the yellow, so that it kind of gives this cool, flower effect kind of. I don't know. Resin changes as it cures, so I knew that what I saw was not going to be what it ended up as. And then I'm doing this technique where I just kind of pull things out to the side, and then I go in between each section and pull it into the center. This again just kind of helps create a flow of the resin and really kind of urge it to the areas that I want it to go, and kind of almost kind of create an effect. I was not trying to do the bloom technique. That's kind of different. It's same but different. I would add paste and do a whole bunch of other things. I just wanted the resin to kind of flow in and outward and make it look pretty and kind of florally. So this is after I mixed up, after I let it sit and I mixed up, and I just really wasn't totally happy with how much pink I had. I wanted to add more pink. So I'm adding more here, and then I'm adding some clear into the center. And I like doing this in kind of batches this way, because what it did is it actually helped lift some of that glitter to the top. So now my glitter looks really dimensional. You can see how just some of it moved to the outer side, and when you look at it in person, it's very cool. So here's where I fight with the corner. Oh boy. It was here that I realized maybe it's my mat that had a little bump in it, and so I moved my mold, and sure enough, it was the mat. And you can see in that top left corner how the resin is finally setting into that mold correctly and not being not askew, not being pushed in one direction. So I finally figured that sucker out. And then I added a whole bunch more clear. This, I like the clear really helps encourage the resin to move and smooth in together versus just mixing a whole bunch of other colors. So then I let it sit for 6 to 8 hours. You want the resin to be soft but not sticky. So when you touch it, you don't want it to be sticky tacky. And I'm using the gloves just to try and help and make sure that I don't get fingerprints all over it. So then you just unmold it very carefully, and you're going to put it into a bowl, the bowl shape that you want. So I put it into this large candy dish bowl, and I'm just kind of messing around with the edges and folding them up and just deciding how I want this bowl to look. There's no exact science really to this. Just make sure that it's kind of centered and have at it. Have fun with the edges of your bowl as you're situating them. And you'll see that I kind of fudge with some things a little bit. Just I really wanted to get those petals up. So you let it sit overnight, total cure for roughly 24 hours. I've got my lovely little tiny assistant helping me unmold it. Just loosen it up, and there you go. Isn't she pretty? Oh, I just absolutely adore this. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like this.